how would a man know how many sexual partners a woman has had?
Oh, that's a whole nother video.
I can. There are things we can look for.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
There are a lot of things that we can tell if a woman has high mileage.
So that means you would be able to know how many sexual partners I've had.
There's no guarantee. Certain things. There's certain traits. There's certain cues you can see.
Okay, so okay. So what would be the cues that let you know that a woman has a high body count?
Way she dresses.
There's so many.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, you shouldn't assume that just because a woman wears a swimsuit that it is. Trust me, I already know where this conversation.
The way she carries herself. Yeah,
okay,
she's very provocative. Look, if you dress like a hoe, dress like a slut, if you don't have the decency to cover up, if you just like that out there, I mean, that's a telltale sign right there that that's not a woman.
Yeah, hey guys, for 500 points.
That's a telltale sign of a woman with high mileage, right?
Yes.
For 500 points, what comedian said, sorry, ma'am, you might not be a hoe, but you sure wearing a hoe's uniform.
Dave Chappelle.
Right.
Let's go, my guy, Dave Chappelle.
If she has the OnlyFans. Boom.
Sure.
There you go.
Sure. Have we all been to high school in America?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not me.
No.
Claudia's from Portugal.
Okay.
He's like, not I.
okay, maybe not you, Claudia. So I mean, I don't know what was happening at y'all's high school, but at my high school, it was often the very mousy, quiet, conservative girls that was banging down the whole sports team.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
so based on your logic, as long as she's covered up, then her body count is.
No, she's trying to distill it down to the one thing you said, when in reality, it's 1,000 things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
give a bunch. That's one of it.
Let me give one example of how good guys are at picking up on things. I was watching a gentleman by the name of it was Andrew Tate's brother, Tristan Tate. Andrew Tate's a world champion kickboxer. But anyways. These guys are millionaires. They're really successful, and they deal with women a lot. And they were talking about the things that they look for. So like they can see the obvious big things, which we all could list 100 off of 100 things, and women can hear that and change it and try and imitate a woman that's non-promiscuous. But they see things so small. Like I remember I flew a girl out, and the girl that I flew out, I told her she was staying at a 5-star hotel. She shows up with a hairdryer. And she's like, oh, I didn't know they have hair dryers here. She had no idea. But the girls that have been flown out to Dubai and South America and where he's at in Europe, like they all know exactly just little things. Oh my God, she thought a 5-star hotel has a hairdryer. She really told me. She told me that it was her first time being flown out in one ear out the other, because all girls say that. But I might actually believe this girl. I'll look for more signs. So then a girl, that wants to get to the bottom of things like Shar would be like, oh, so it's just about a hairdryer. No, it's not. That's one of 1,000 things. And guys are really good. The smart guys that aren't going to get 5 baby mamas by 5 kids by 5 different women and get finessed. They are that good. And you would have never known that.
The funny thing is women think if they say, oh, oops, it's the first time I'm doing this, that men will believe that, just because they say there's a lot of different, the way you dress, the way you portray yourself on social media, if you crave for attention, the way you speak, if you flirt or not, but because the mask will fall. Even the man, he can portray himself being a ladies' man, but he can feel if he is sleeping with a lot of women or not. Right. I can say, oh, I'm the king of the world. I slept with 100 girls, but you will start to understand as soon as you meet him and start to hang out with him if he is about that thing or not. Women are exactly the same. Your mouth can say one thing, but you will understand a guy that is confident or not if he is able to sleep with a lot of women, or if he just talking just for talk.
Sure, I mean, it's the same thing. Shar, is that there's certain things that you can tell within men that men give cues of whether they're strong, ambitious, that they got going on with their life, or they're just bums. Because a man could flex on social media to have money, but then I'm sure you meet them in real life and talk to them and see how they articulate, see how they communicate, see what they value, what they spend their time on. You realize you see those little cues in their lifestyle, like, oh, that's all bullshit what they put out there in public. It's the same thing with men when it comes to looking at women if they're promiscuous or
Deny
not.
that you all. One of my favorite things about the male species is how observant you all are. Whatever conclusions you all
When it comes
come
to sex.
you tend. No.
If I may,
Yeah.
After Shar finishes,
sure,
it's
right.
gonna come to you.
As soon as I'm done, Journey, I'll kick it off to you. So yeah, one of my favorite things about the male species is how observant you are. Like, me being a woman, or the way I take in information is very intuitive. Sometimes I draw very accurate conclusions, but I can't tell you the exact thing that I saw, smelled, heard that led me to that conclusion, but it's accurate, right? Whereas not the same typically with men, in my experience. A man can tell you exactly the thing he paid attention to, what he looked at, what he heard, what he smelled, whatever he took in with his senses that allowed him to arrive at that conclusion. So it's not that I don't believe that you guys are able to process things about a woman accurately. However, my thing is, when it comes to women, there are so many different variables involved in how women show up based on how women are socialized, that not to say that you couldn't guess or make it come to your conclusions and be accurate sometimes. I'm just letting you know that as a woman, I would be willing to bet that a lot of the time your conclusion is also just as wrong, because women, you will never, ever, ever know. You could maybe surmise that, okay, she's promiscuous, she's fast. Meanwhile, what you just might be picking up on is a woman who is super comfortable in her skin, a woman who is very comfortable with her sexuality, has no problem flirting with. A woman can be a sexually liberated virgin. Let's be very.
No.
I'm about to burst, but Journey needs to talk. We've been talking over Journey. She needs to make her point.
No worries. No, just go ahead, Shar. Finish up. We have time. Finish up, Shar.
I'll acquiesce. Journey can pick up.
No worries. And just before I pass the Journey, those two words contradict each other: sexual liberation, virgin.
Virgin. Yeah.